We're breaking down anything and everything Utica City FC related. This is the Keeper's Corner podcast with your hosts, Matt Sterling and Brandon Brooks. Let's get into it.
Hello. Welcome back to the Keeper's Corner podcast. Brandon, what'd you say with this? This is our 81st episode.
I know.
Been doing this for a while.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I honestly wasn't even sure if we'd be doing it this long. You never know how things go. You never know what clubs are going to stick around, things like that. And why are you muted?
I don't know. Are you muted?
Matt should not be muted.
Bippity boppity. I'm just tired.
I was going to say, I literally see the thing going up. He's talking. Don't. I did things right today.
She had a lagging sound. Okay. Well, that explains it.
Fair enough.
We're back. We're talking Utica City. It's Hangover Monday. Not drinking hangover, but like
I was going to say, I don't know about you, but
emotional hangover.
Oh my God. Yeah. Whew.
Like, boy, I know what it feels like to be one of those Milwaukee fans from a week ago losing in the last minute.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've had a few kind of, I guess you could say, comeback wins that we've won in the last minute, or just crazy last minutes that have happened in Utica. And unfortunately, it's never fun when they are not in our favor. Mm-hmm. But what a game, regardless. I mean,
so you want to hear a funny story?
Always.
I didn't mention it yesterday.
You promised.
No, not like funny, haha, like sad clown funny at this point. Because Friday morning I wake up, Kate calls out of work. I come downstairs. I go, Kate, I had a dream. Utica beat Monterey. The score was 8-6.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All I remember from the dream besides that score was that I talked to Timmy in our section. So he wasn't in the game in my dream. Probably because in my dream people were healthy. And we had Keaton and we had Gordy and Mo wasn't MIA and we weren't starting Ricky for the first time.
Without Timmy though, we didn't have our first goal.
No. But like depth chart wise, no offense to Timmy, he's
I know
in that 15, 16, So when I saw him out there, I go, I guess that dream's not coming true. He told me in the dream, we can win. We can do it. We've got that.
Well, he told it to everybody, though. It wasn't just you. It was everybody.
Well, in my dream, it was just me. So,
got Timmy coming to you in your dreams now, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that.
God, look, there was Monterey was at 72 in the dream too afterwards. So like that happened as well in real life.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So parts of it came true.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got
not some of the right
numbers
parts.
Right, just verse the teams.
Yeah. I kind of believe that it was more closer to, a 7-6 game. I mean, the last one was just, that was pretty much, I don't.
It was like Nelson's to seal the game in the first one of the year.
Yeah.
You got a goal. Thank you. Empty netter. It helps. But yeah, we know how close that game was.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say kudos to the Utica fans. If you go through like all the comments on social media, it is 98% just keep your heads up. Good game. You guys fought hard. It was a fantastic performance. We'll get them in the playoffs. And then 2% being like, those refs were kind of sucky.
You're going to have that. I mean,
but like a week ago when Milwaukee lost, it was like 50% refs, 50%. Where are our missing players?
yeah, we're definitely feeling that. But the guys that were there, 100 just completely stepped up. Yeah.
And I guess, let's just. I'll get it out of the way now because I'm sure most people are like, hey, it's Matt. He's not a fan of these MASL refs.
Oh yeah, I wasn't letting you get into the game breakdown until we went through this because I knew it was coming. I knew that we were going to have this conversation. I was
so burned out from this weekend that like it's not even ranty. It's just I'm tired. Because
I'll be honest, I was excited that we had Sigic because I'm like, okay, we might actually we're going to get some quality. And then,
hey, do you know what the officiating crew was in the Tacoma game that had like 14 cards in the fourth quarter?
No, I didn't look.
The one that got, did I freeze? Did Brandon freeze?
You froze.
Was that me or you? You froze on my end too.
I'm thinking it was you.
I'm blaming you.
Well, the stream is solid.
The question was,
I'm good.
Okay. The question was, do you know who the officiating crew was in that Tacoma San Diego game that had red cards and yellow cards and blue cards and like confetti coming out?
No, but I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good idea of who you're going to tell me was the.
It was the same crew we had yesterday.
Figured that.
Like last week I sat here and I was like, no, kudos to the officials on getting things under control. And on this one, we got lucky it didn't boil over, and I think it's just because these teams don't play each other all that often. There's not that we don't like you, you don't like us, bad blood. It was just two quality teams going against each other.
There's no built-up animosity. It was the first meeting of the season.
But all over the place. All over the place. I watched Nelson throw a guy to the turf and didn't get called for a foul. Watched elbows get thrown, guys get grabbed by the shoulder and spun around, jerseys coming half off. And then my favorite little section there was when Hundelt went in for a tackle. His shin guard popped out. Play was dead because it was a foul, and the shin guard's lying on the field, and I'm screaming about it loud enough that it gets picked up by the in-game audio from broadcast. You can't hear what I'm saying, but you just hear coming from the corner.
That's just normal. That's just normal.
But like it's that loud, the little microphone way up top can pick it up. Sigic is 10 feet from that and 50 feet from me, and he can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's just tuning me out because
he's your biggest fan.
Yeah. Like I can see it. I know you can see it. At one point, Nilton stepped on it, and like that was my biggest fear. Someone's going to roll on it and roll their ankle.
Yep. It's slippery.
You can't stop. The play was already dead. Just pick it up. Delay the start of game. Pick it up. Get Hundelt his shin guard. Get it off the field. You'd do the same thing if someone in the beer garden chucked an empty cup out there.
Yep, you would.
But like,
yeah, finally had to have somebody down right next to him be like, "Hey, look,
dun, Ducky.
It's a shin guard. You should go grab that, or you should have someone grab it. I don't care who. Pick it up."
That's why, even though on under review, he agreed with what we said last week. There's a pushing motion. Doesn't look like it was enough to cause the fall that happened, which is I'm pretty sure what their ruling was on the final, on the game-winning goal again. This one with the. And I've said it before. Not recently, because we haven't seen Sigic this much this year, but as the head of officials, he should not be officiating games. On game days, like MLB, NFL have done, he needs to be the person sitting at home in front of 8 computer screens or however many it takes, initiating the reviews. He is great on reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Live, I watched the ball bounce off of him 3 times in under 10 seconds, including stopping it from going out of bounds because it hit him in the chest and didn't blow the play dead for the ball coming into contact with an official.
Right. Yeah, and that happened a few. Like the ball came into contact with the officials quite a few times. It was definitely a reoccurring thing that happened.
You'll have the official the people that come out of the woodwork to defend the officials and be like, well, if you think you're so good, why don't you get your license and do it? Well, first of all, I am equally as athletic and just going to get in as much as the way. It's not going to be any better. The calls might be more consistent, but considering this league likes to let people that live in the hometown of a team referee those games.
Yep.
I am absolutely 100% biased for Utica in the moment.
Of course.
So a lot of times it takes the replay to see it, and you don't want that. And also, considering the quality it is, that's not something I want to be a part of.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Everyone's had those jobs where you're like, I need this for the paycheck. I just need it for the paycheck. I don't need that. And I don't want to walk into that dumpster fire.
Oh, come on. It would be great.
Yeah. I am aware that MLS is having a dispute with their officials, and there are some replacements available. Maybe when the MLS referee union gets their stuff together with the governing body there, and they return, some of those officials will become available because they can't possibly be worse than what the MAS has had.
Is it Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
I was gonna say now who's the one that's confusing the days of the leagues?
Yes, the very similar leagues. They both play soccer. One of them's indoor, one of them's outdoor, and they have 3 of the same letters, just in a different order.
Just had to get you back. I just had to get a jab in there somehow.
Like I don't expect better at this point, and it's just like, yep, here we go. Another great game between 2 solid teams, and we know we're gonna just be sitting here scratching our heads half the time.
So I have a counter argument to the whole thing.
Sure.
Yes, we had a lot of stuff that was not blown in our favor. There was a lot
I'm not
of
even
things,
saying in our favor or
I know.
against us. Just
hear me out. There was a lot of stuff that didn't get blown in general, whether it was in our favor or not. But that fuel on the fire brought the odd alive. I mean, not that that's what should happen, but the animosity that was being built from that, just the odd became thunderous after that, because we were just that much more determined to, be that 7th man and just show the guys and show the other team and the refs just how we felt about the whole thing, and that we still were like, hey, we're still coming for you regardless of what kind of hurdles you're going to throw in front of us. And they brought it. So
yeah,
the odd brought it, the guys brought it. Yeah.
It's a game that you leave, you're just kind of disappointed in the ending, but not upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like the San Diego game we had a couple years back. You don't remember the San Diego game?
I remember that one. I remember that one very well.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
sorry, I was reading the chat at the same time you said that, so my brain was trying to process 2 things and running like Windows 98.
Right. Yeah. So garbage.
Yeah, I think that's really all there is, for that. You want to do the quick league roundup while we're here?
Oh, sure, if you want.
So
All right.
we both
Go
agreed
ahead.
we're going to just throw a quick 90 seconds in every week to keep everyone updated on the goings on in the league. Let's run through it. Friday, Monterey beat Harrisburg 9-2, and Chihuahua beat Dallas 9-3. I don't think there's any surprises in those final lines there.
Not particularly, just the score was that close between the two games. I mean, that was kind of cool.
Saturday, you had Baltimore win in overtime against Harrisburg at Harrisburg. It's their first victory at the Farm Bureau complex since 2021-22 season.
Yep.
Utica, Monterey, we know how that ended. Milwaukee came back from a 7-3 deficit to an 8-7 in overtime.
Yep.
And Kansas City, shocker, of the weekend, upsetting the San Diego Sockers 9-4 at Pechanga Arena, which makes things interesting as far as standings go in the East, because now we have 3 teams within 5 points for the 2, 3, and 4 seeds. Utica City, with a game in hand against Milwaukee, has a 3-point lead, 36-33. Milwaukee, with 33, has a game in hand and a 2-point lead over Kansas City. And then Baltimore, with the 2 points they picked up, but Kansas City getting 3, still has 4 games in hand over Kansas City, but trails them by 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally anybody's game at this point for the playoffs.
Okay, how'd I do? I think I got that in under 90.
10 seconds left.
Nice.
Kudos. I'll have a timer up next week. I just didn't have time to set one up, but I had a timer going to, this is our around the league in 90 seconds. So there you go. First week of it, and you did well.
Also, Brandon, great naming on that one. Great naming.
I have my moments, okay?
But let's talk the game, because
all right,
I guess we should.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to start with one thing.
Yeah.
I don't like that we've fallen into an old habit of ours. Starting the game 2 goals down. We've done it a couple of times in recent games. We did it in this one. We did it in Baltimore. And then we're just fighting back. Did we do it with Milwaukee? I'm trying to remember. I'm looking back at
No, we came out and we're up 3-0 on Milwaukee.
That's right. Yeah, but we did it in Baltimore. But
Baltimore, yeah.
We were doing that last season, where it felt like every game, 2 goals.
Do we dig a hole?
Dig it deeper. I almost started singing a song there, and somebody in the chat knows it too. But
yeah,
we've been starting 2 goals down
dig
and just
dig a ton.
Not that song.
No, you weren't going for the one from Lion King 1.5.
No. Don't tempt me. Diamonds, rubies, gold, and more hidden in the mountain store. Diggy, diggy hole. Anyway,
Yep, we get it. You are a dwarf and you're digging a hole.
Oh, it's invaded the podcast. This is awful. This is bad. Yeah. So, it's becoming a reoccurring theme. We did it a lot last season. We'd go 2 goals down. Everton call a timeout, and then we would start coming back. But we're fighting an uphill battle at this point. We're just constantly fighting uphill battles, and it's much easier. It would be, much better to kind of go back to what we've been doing, and just having, it's always better either to be, in line with them or ahead. Obviously, that's just a duh. But it just sucks when you're trying to battle back in every single game, because then it's just like, it's going to, you're going to have that mindset, and you don't want that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something we need to break. So I'm getting ahead of things, but that's the thing that needs to change stop allowing us to go down in the beginning of the games, or at least not going down as much. 1 goal, fine. But 2 goals, we got to cut that out somehow.
Fair. I guess it kind of is similar to the stat that tells the story is a 0-2 deficit to start the game. So I'll give it to you. I'll say the stat for me that tells the story is that despite fighting back 3 times from a 2-goal deficit, Utica failed to lead in this game for a single second.
Yep. And there was opportunity. There was a power play.
Yeah.
That was the time.
So good that our power play is fantastic. Our penalty kill is getting better. And luckily they have a terrible penalty or power play team on Monterey somehow. Like, it's the worst thing about them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll get to that. I have something else for something else, but it was going to originally be my stat, but it's not. It doesn't tell the story. So.
Okay. That's me. Failure to even get a lead for 1 second on your home turf.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, our best chance, in my mind, was that power play. It was right near the end. What was it? Fourth quarter with about 9 left or 9 into it. Monterey gets a boarding call on of all people, Tim. That just sent everyone into a frenzy. Like, you don't mess with Timmy. But that right there was the chance. We didn't capitalize on it. If we were to capitalize on any power play in our entire season, that one would have been it. Like, if we had done that, this would have been a totally different game. We probably would have. If everything else played out the same, we would have been in overtime because it would have been 7-7.
Yeah.
Because that 6 attacker goal would have never happened. So yeah, it could have been 7-7. Could have at least gotten a point off of Monterey, and who knows what was going to happen in overtime with how this game had been going. But
I'm going to wind it back a little further, and it's coming straight out of the half. About 40 seconds in, I think it was Nelson played it from like behind half field up. And Frank had that header that went just wide.
Yes.
He gets that. Utica gets their first lead. And it's huge because it was like a minute and a half later that Monterey retook the lead.
Yes.
That momentum shift would have been massive.
Well, considering they came out guns a-blazing. I mean, they came out just firing on all cylinders, and they were coming. They attacked hard and heavy in right as soon as the second half started. So for us to turn around and then score right then, totally different ball game. Takes the wind right out of their sails.
Yeah,
not that it would have stopped them, but it would have definitely it would have made them pause for a moment, which Monterey does not do. No, a couple of opportunities that game to really make an influential difference on the outcome just by a couple of plays that could have gone just slightly better. Well, one that could have gone way better because we didn't really have any good opportunities on power play, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. The wasted first minute of it.
Ugh.
Yeah. Sorry. Stat that tells the story done. Play that changed the game done. You kind of already threw your thing that needs to change in.
I have a second one, but I'm going to let you do your first one first.
Injuries. We got to get healthy.
Yeah.
I know it's not always controllable. We lost Chino for like the final 10 minutes of the game. Yes. He wasn't even on the bench where he was grabbing. My concern is that like he dislocated his shoulder or something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can still play once it's relocated, but if you fractured something up there, any kind of contact's gonna be very, very unpleasant.
Clearly, they played the safest bet. The safest bet was to,
yes.
Sure, maybe they relocated it on the bench and nobody could, and he just, nobody heard him scream. And they just kept him out, which I mean, personally, as the trainer, if I was his trainer, I wouldn't let you go back out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just think that was the safest choice, just regardless of whether it was popped back in or not, which I would assume they probably did if they could. Then yeah, he should not have been on the field. So I'm glad that they kept him off, regardless of what happens.
We'll have to wait and see with him. Keaton's knee, everything I could tell is it's progressing, but time is the only thing that you can wait for there.
Of course.
Gordy, ankle, probably shouldn't have played last week. Aggravated it. But the
pivotal game, though. I mean, yes. I can understand why he wanted to play.
Obviously, I get being out there. Big game, especially against Milwaukee. And as much as we both had hopes for beating Monterey and being the team to finally knock them off, obviously it's more realistic to beat Milwaukee than to beat the unbeatens.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, listen, it sucks, but all we can do is recover, reflect, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they need to do, and that's it.
Go ahead with what needs to change.
Okay. So obviously, my one that we've already talked about. I think they need to develop a bit of at least maybe with Frank's rotation. Stop throwing it to him in the corner.
I was going to get to this when we talked about Frank's performance later.
I knew that we were going to get there at some point, and I was surprised that you didn't say it for what needs to change, because we'll get to what he did.
Yes.
But this was a dominant Frank Taillou that we've wanted to see. He, silenced some of the haters that he's had in that arena because of, being able to I'll just say it. He finally got his hat trick. Like, I was so happy when I saw he got that hat trick, but not only that, he looked good. Just not when he was in the corner. When he was in the corner, when he kept getting it dumped to him in the corner, that was a problem. Have somebody else there and have him come up to be in the middle to get that ball in the middle. If we can somehow establish that offense, he's going to be so much more dangerous.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about that, Huber, the lack of power play.
We didn't touch on it much because it's kind of been a recurring issue that doesn't look like it's getting fixed this year.
Unfortunately, but
no.
Improvement is all we ask for. We don't need it fixed, but improvement, at least a little bit.
Actually, Frank was going to be my positive takeaway.
Mine too.
This is the vintage Frank Taillou performance we were looking for.
Yes.
I posted it in response to comment the MASL off the wall group.
Mhm.
I bet Utica fans are happy. I'm like, yeah, it's great to see them actually getting Frank the ball in the middle of the field where he does the most damage. Where he can choose left or right. You're not putting him in a corner, limiting his range, limiting his space. And they found him in multiple ways.
Yes.
A direct pass. Frank did the spin cycle on his third goal there on his own.
The signature
and
move.
then they had the Wallace score.
Yep.
And yeah, we kind of talk about it, but as far as league leaders go, Frank and Nilton both tied at 33 points. Both are tied for second in the MASL in total points with a few other guys.
But still, the fact that we have two people up there
Yes.
is phenomenal.
One of them we call the king, and the other one is having a phenomenal sophomore season that is going to set sky-high limits.
Yes.
And both of them are rapidly approaching the team points record that Gordy set last year.
Yep. Yeah, they are both having phenomenal seasons. Well, at least, for what we've seen, Franks has taken a little bit to get there, but I mean, he's been putting up 2 goals almost, not consistently, but 2 goals a game for the past few that we've seen. Again, not consistent, but still, when he's been scoring, it's like, oh, he's going to get the hat trick this game. It's got 2 goals already. It's going to happen. And then it didn't. And then it's like, there's no way it happens in this game. And there he is with freaking Scepter.
Yeah, they've both played 17 games, or 17 games. They both have 33 points. So they're averaging just under 2 points a game. They trail Gordy's team record by 8, and there are 7 games to play.
Yeah, and they're definitely
7 games, 6, 7.
We have 6 games.
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got Baltimore. Home against Baltimore, at Milwaukee, at Kansas City. Home against Harrisburg. Back-to-back at home against St. Louis, and then we finish in Baltimore.
Yeah, I know.
I got it. I still
Trust
remember
me.
the schedule.
I never have to be reminded about that last one. Ever.
You love the last one.
Oh, yeah, it's great. No, I'm looking forward to it, but I jest. Just don't murder me when I come down, please.
I mean, I got out of there safely, so you should be fine.
Were you with Huber?
No.
Were you in the front row?
No, I brought the flag.
Fair enough. I'm in the front row with Huber and Michelle. Run.
Yeah, so that's my positive takeaway. Frank finally giving the home crowd the performance that they've been begging for.
Yeah, and I have nothing additional to say about it. Like, that was literally going to be my positive takeaway as well, is the fact that he got the Hattie. And I mean,
that is creepy, Huber.
What? I didn't see anything. Oh, there it is. The chat was delayed for me. So, yeah.
Have fun with that.
Oh, yeah. We're just gonna drop him off at the field, and we're gonna leave him at TU Arena.
Okay.
So yeah, he's just not gonna come back to the hotel with us.
Ah, yes, Toilet University. Actually, Towson looked very nice. It was like driving up to it. It was all like, these are very expensive houses.
Yeah. No.
Upper crust neighborhood.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no. I couldn't. I mean, when he was in the right position, he did a lot for us.
Yes.
And I kind of laughed because we went from. I weird transition, but hear me out. We went from having Bo kind of being our frontline man for our frontline big guy that could score goals, but could also make opportunities happen, things like that. And he had his signature move, the dribbling
across the goal face. And
yes. Frank has the spin cycle, as you call it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just the problem with him being in the corner is that it doesn't work over there.
Yeah.
Like he can have, I mean, Steve brought up that, when he's in the corner, he's got two guys on him instantly. It's like, yeah, but when he's in the middle, he's got at least two or three on him because he's in the middle. He's right in front of the goal face. But it doesn't matter because he can maneuver out of it. Whereas if he's in the goal or he's in the corner, he has these guys and a wall that he can't maneuver. So it's prime positioning. So if we can make just when he's on the field, if we can make some adjustments or build our offense around that type of thing. But we'd have to have somebody who's just as good in those little pockets as Frank is. And I mean, we've got a couple of guys that could step into a role such as that and then still have those peripheral shooters. Like there's some cool things we could do with that. Just, switch up the offense midseason. See what people think.
Yeah. Hopefully we have more performances like that ahead of us.
I would love that.
Especially this weekend against Baltimore. We know them. We dislike them. The Blast come to town. 3:00 Sunday, Adirondack Bank Center, as always.
Yep.
We're going to be captainless again, which means we will, we'll have a captain. It'll be Nelson. But Hundell is serving a 1-game suspension for points accumulation.
Yep. Once I saw he got that card, actually, to be honest, I didn't even think about it. Michelle brought it up to me like, oh yeah, he got a card, so he's going to be out. It's like, oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be missing him for a game, which definitely sucks. I loved you during the game, by the way, when Nelly was kind of jawing, and you're just like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah, because I know how close he was to you. You shut up. Look, I'll be honest. When Hundell came out of the penalty box and just fucking God. My bad. Oopsie. Sorry. I dropped that bomb. I'm usually pretty good about that, but I am, as I've said, very tired.
Listen, I thought he had watched the Elimination Chamber the day before the wrestling event that was on. He just pops out of the box and he's just like, "Hey, how's it going?" Bam!
Just trucked him.
He was like, "What do I got to lose at this point?"
The dude used a hit stick.
Now, again, if it happened to any of our guys like that, then it's like, of course, would be like, blah, 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 blah. But
I thought it was going to be another blue card.
So did I. I thought he was either getting a blue or, honestly, depending on the actual contact. I mean, he could have gotten a red. Yeah, I mean, he could have even gotten a red. Another one, which would have been so much worse. Mm-hmm. But he would have deserved it. He would have deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
Is what it is at this point.
Yeah, of course.
So, no him. I'm going to guess no Fernandez. I'm going to guess no Gordy. And it seems like, I'm just going to come out and say it because a few other people were talking about it in various posts online. Whatever was said between Mo and Everton and their flare up on the bench in Baltimore, that it looks like he may be in the same position as Staff.
Yeah.
Is with the strikers. So I don't know if we can expect to see him at all, let alone this game.
Yeah. It's obviously a little bit worrying. I mean, he's one of our stronger defensive men.
Mm-hmm.
So not having him for a couple games sucks. Not having him for potentially the rest of the season is painful. That will definitely hurt us. Because again, we're not that deep on defense and we know it. We've been getting better. Like we've still got some shining stars in Wanalava, Nelson Santana. I mean, Logan was doing pretty good last night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Dylan, but Dylan won't be in this game. So, I mean, it's just, it's getting thinner and I don't like it.
Yeah. It's cause for concern.
We talked about that, Huber. We literally talked about that exact thought process there.
Yes.
Straight trade.
Yeah. If NDI isn't going to be in the plans for Utica and Mijatovic is not going to be in the plans for the Empire, let's just consider it like we're resetting the Frank trade.
Yeah. They still, Q stays there and, it's literally just.
And they got the 3 other prospects that did not make the team that they took with Mo, but.
Right. Yeah. I mean, of course, we're talking. I didn't even think about it, but we're talking about Empire and Utica, and I'm literally wearing Empire and Utica. Not. Yep. This is a complete coincidence, but this just showed up today and I was very happy, so I had to wear it.
And what else? Yeah, it's Baltimore, it's Utica, it's the Blue Turf. We know Baltimore struggles away. I mean, they barely beat Harrisburg, and Harrisburg was playing their second game in 2 days.
After playing the Flash.
Yeah. So, how's this one going to go?
Well, did we make adjustments for Dieguez? That would be my big thing. Because if we didn't, then potentially a problem. We definitely need to account for him in this game. Mm-hmm. Now, in the Harrisburg game, he really didn't do anything. But it was, he was definitely quiet compared to his past 2 games where he scored, I think, like 6 goals total. 5 on us and 1 in the other one, I believe it was, something like that. And so we have to make some sort of adjustment for him. Mm-hmm. Baltimore, yeah. But they've beaten us at home. Like, I know that it's not the same team as it was a couple years ago when we went to the playoffs and they knocked us out. I know that was literally our first year, totally different team, coach, everything, but it still lurks in the back of my mind that they can win on that field. Now history this year doesn't show it, but I'm not counting them out. We need the defense, which that's kind of circling back just a touch because I need to, because it's pertinent. We can't allow them to push us back into our defensive third like we did with Monterey. I understand that Monterey is a heavy hard push team, mm-hmm. but we can't let them push us back. I was very surprised that we didn't make any major mistakes on defense that led to goals. Because we kept getting pushed back and back and back. So hats off to the defense for making sure that didn't happen. So some adjustments that need to be made. If we can make at least some of them, our defense stays on point like it has been, even even in Monterey, because and as if Andrew can stay healthy, which no indication saying that he's not 100% at this point. I mean, he had a great game with Monterey. He had a better save percentage than their keeper. And I think we can come out of this with a win.
Yes.
Do I think it's going to be, a 3-point goal, or a 3-point deficit, like I said the last time, and then we end up losing by 4? No. But I think this one might be close. It depends on who's healthy. It depends on who's playing for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But our side specifically, I'm going to say 7-6. I'm going to say what it should have been this past weekend. 7-6. Not overtime.
Okay. Yeah, this one could be interesting. Both teams, I mean, Baltimore, again, struggles on the bigger fields. Utica, our defense has got some leaks. We're taking on water, and we'll see if some of these guys can step up and help bail us out.
Yep.
Baltimore has been much better of late. I mean, they seem to have broken that little curse they had going up to Harrisburg.
Oh yeah, and they're on a win streak. I mean,
they are.
Granted,
and they're fighting just to get into the playoffs.
Yes. Now, granted, they are playing the night before.
Yes, that's what gives me. Well, I'm not going to pick them, obviously.
No, I wouldn't. I thought for sure you were going to pick them. Come on.
But it's going to be a tighter game, I think, than most people want.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 5-4. Baltimore's going to have tired legs, and with our defense possibly being shaky, yeah, we'll get out and get our sprints, but I think we kind of get up and then kind of like that Milwaukee game, try to play back so we don't have, Nelson picking up a couple cards and having to miss a game at Milwaukee, or limit some of the risky plays that can lead to further injury, which this team can't take.
No, I agree. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a very close game. I think a lot of the time we say it's potentially going to come down to who scores first. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be who scores first in the second half. I think that's going to define who's going to take this. Regardless of what the score is, I don't care if it's 5-0 at the half. Doesn't matter which team it is. The team that scores first in the second half, that's who's going to take it. Now, if it's 110-4, then no, obviously we're not gonna take it in the second half. If we go into the half, or we go into the halftime 110-4, like the Harrisburg score. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did see the.
I saw that live, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here.
Quality control.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
All right. I think that's everything for us. One little shout out to Rodney. He was repping the Utica Club, Utica City jersey that we designed. Great to see.
Yeah, that was very cool.
And there was a request from another Utica fan if we do any more to tip him off. So I don't think I'll bring back that design. I like keeping it limited.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I've got an idea for something else. It's just picking out colors that I like, and instead of custom, they'd all be the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say you always have ideas rolling around in that head for designs. I know it. I can see it.
Sometimes, other times it's just blank and I can't think of anything.
I see the smoke pouring out every once in a while.
Let's not talk about smoke. Our flat top caught on fire last night as we were cleaning up, and
Nah.
not a good time.
Well, any closing statements? Anything special you want to talk about?
I don't have anything.
Mhm.
Do you?
No, I was just asking.
No,
I don't like dead air.
I am devoid of thought right now.
No, I'm not a fan of dead air. So I was just trying to fill the space with hot air.
Well, we are both full of it. So.
Exactly. That's the point.
Peanut Gallery, shut up.
I mean, she's been coughing enough as it is. So
I know.
you get a cough-filled episode. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. She has the plague and I don't.
Stay away from me.
She's tested negative, so it's not that.
I meant in general. I don't care what it is.
Yep, she doesn't have rabies.
Anyway, send us home.
You guys know where to find us on social media. If not, let the little credit thing here at the end play out, and it'll tell you where. Thank you for watching. I'm Matt. He's Brandon. I almost had that backwards.
That'd be great.
Go Utica.
And Sogs.
Thank you for listening to the Keeper's Corner podcast on whatever podcast app you use. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to interact with us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter or X, whatever you prefer to call it. We have a TeePublic shop where you can get UCFC player swag or help support the podcast. Thank you. We appreciate it. And one last thing. Go Utica City.